What's happening, bass players? Ryan here from BassMatter.com, taking you through the core bass learning program. And in this lesson, we're going to review 5 smoking hot technique and conditioning exercises to help you build up some sick chops. And why this isn't about just tripping up your fingers, but it's also about conditioning the mind. Let's get to work. Conditioning, guys, we use this stuff all the time as bass players, okay? We work out our fingers all the time. The number one thing that you can do to help develop stamina and playability is to simply play your bass, okay? Play your bass, play the music, play to the stuff that you love, and you're gonna get better chops, and you're gonna play faster, and you're gonna play cleaner. But sometimes you have to isolate the things that you're trying to work on to really develop and harness and strengthen that one particular technique or that one particular approach. And playing isn't just about getting our fingers to go fast. It's about getting our minds to go fast and think about what's ahead, thinking like a chess player, right? Being a few moves ahead of where you are here so you already know where you're going to go and what's going to happen, okay? So I'm going to show you today my 5 top technique and conditioning exercises that I use personally. Some of them are very rudimentary and very fundamental, and then try to start mixing them together so they become quite difficult and quite a strain for the mind and the fingers. Let's take a look. Number 1, spider crawls, okay? Crawls, chromatic runs, a lot of different names for these things. Let's take a look at them. We started covering these in video 2 or video 3 when we were doing the Herbie Hancock riff, and we were working on groups of 4, okay? We take our fretting hand, and now we really focus on being clean, okay? We're going to use 1 finger per fret. We're going to put our thumb underneath our number 2 finger and try to keep that there as we're climbing back and forth. It's going to help better control, better stamina, and better flow from our fingers, okay? We're going to take a group of 4 frets and just play in a run. Make sure we're alternating with our right hand. Da, 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 da. All right? All the way up. Next group of 4. Then go descending, all the way back down the fretboard. Crawls, very basic, a good warm-up, something you can do not even being plugged in just to get your fingers ready, okay? Now let's jump into the stuff that I love to use. The next one on the list is going to be diatonic climbs. Now for the rest of this video to make sense, you're going to want to make sure that you know your modes, so make sure you review that video, and you know your diatonic order, okay? Because this particular method is going to use those two things of music theory to help us stumble our minds while we stumble our fingers at the same time to help stretch ourselves, okay? Here we go. Diatonic climbs. You've seen these before, but we're going to pick up the tempo a little bit, okay? So I'm going to try to climb up and down the fretboard at 80 beats per minute, playing in the key of C and doing all of the modes, okay, consecutively. This gets me thinking about what's next, what's ahead, right? So on the website, underneath the fretboard mastery section, you'll see the diatonic climb tracks, okay? I'm going to continue to add more, and as the website is the making of this video, it's underneath the fretboard mastery section. That may change down the road, but I have no intentions of getting rid of the diatonic climb tracks. So look for those there and more of them in the future, okay? So I'm going to take the key of C and we're going to climb up the fretboard using all of our modes staying in time, okay? Nice and slow. So my Ionian, next one's my Dorian, next one's my Phrygian, next one's my Lydian, next one's Mixolydian, then I have my Aeolian coming up, Locrian, then my Ionian to finish things off. All over again. Okay? And that exercise goes on and on and on. Now, you can find on the website, I've got all 12 keys, okay? Under 6 minutes, you can touch basically every fret on your fretboard and play all 7 church modes in all the keys on your bass, okay? It's quite a workout. It's a great challenge for the mind. I highly suggest you start working on trying to climb through that entire track in under 6 minutes. It's a great, great exercise, okay? The next one on the list is something that we use all the time, and it's very, very real. And these are called doublings, okay? As bass players, we double all the time. We shift from quarter notes to eighth notes, or eighth notes to 16th notes, or we go the other way, right? We cut things in half. We start sustaining our notes longer, right? So we have to do those things all the time, and it's not uncommon for us to have to do that. So we want to practice doubling, okay? This is simple. We just take a rhythm keeper, right? It can be a jam track, it can be a metronome, whatever it might be, and we're going to play something, and then we're going to double it, okay? You can mix this up, and this is what's real. This is what we really do in music, okay? So if I'm going to play, I'll play a C major scale, okay? So I've got C, D, and I'm playing my quarter notes right now, right? Next, I want to double it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and, right? I'm going back and forth between doubling and between playing it back at regular time, or whatever I want to call the metronome, right? And you can get this going pretty good, right? So if I take something at like 150, okay, I'll do a G Mixolydian scale here, okay? So I've got my da 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 da. Now double it, right? Now descending. Doubling so real, right? We do this all the time within music. We double often, right? We go from a bridge to a chorus to a pre-chorus, and we double. We do it. So practice doubling, and it's a great thing for you to do. The next one that's a lot of fun is called a high-low transition. Again, something very real that we do within music all the time is go between the lower register of the neck and the higher register, or else we want to, because we start having that happen in music all the time, right? Where we have to play down low, and then boom, all of a sudden there's a little tasty lick we have to toss in up here. And you'd be surprised that if you don't practice the hand-eye coordination handoff from low to high, it can be quite difficult. Easy place to start. Set a rhythm keeper, metronome, right? Play your major scale down low, and staying in time, try to jump up above the 12th fret to its next register and play the same shape again, okay? Then back low. You can pick up the tempo, of course, to make this more challenging for yourself, but it's getting to stop at the right place at the right time and knowing that you don't have any extra margin in your timing to get from one place to the next, so you practice some good hand-eye coordination of getting your hands to stop in the right place at the right time, okay? This is starting to help you develop that chess thinker attitude, right? Where you're thinking ahead of where you're going to go. You're not so much conscious of what's here right now. You're looking ahead to where you're going to go, okay? It helps develop that trait, and it's very, very applicable in our playing. Now, one of my favorites, combining the last three together, doubling high-low transitions and climbs together all at the same time. Let me go back to my diatonic climb here, and I'm going to play that same thing where I was going C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian. But what I want to do is I want to do my C Ionian down low, and then go up to my D Dorian up high and double it, and then come back down to my E Phrygian down low, and then jump way up high to my F Lydian and double it. And of course the cycle continues on. Let's see what happens here. C Ionian low, right? Da 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 da. D Dorian up high, E Phrygian low, F Lydian high, right? G Mixolydian low, and then the cycle continues on and on and on, and that's a great thing for you to do to be able to get used to high and low transitions. It's a lot of fun, and you can mix those things up, right? You can do stuff where you're doing some ascending and some descending, okay? So if I go back here, I'll do my C Ionian, right? Da 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 da. D Dorian low, right? Da 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 da. My F Lydian descending. After this, I have my A Aeolian descending and doubled, Locrian. Right? There it is. So you can start mixing ascending and descending things together at the same time. It's a lot of fun. There's so many ways that you can mix these things up. And this is what I do, right? I take these 5 elements between crawls and climbs and doubling and those are 4, and high-low transitions, and start mixing those 4 things up. And then for an additional exercise, I start working on string crossing, okay? String crossing kind of ties everything up. Now on the website, I have those string crossing charts. Go get them, they're all free. And they're not meant to be read top to bottom, right? Just pick a measure, right? And what it is, it's a way to start looking at music, and even though it's tab and music at the same time, I'm sorry, it's just tab in the rhythm form, it gets you used to looking at a piece of paper and translating it over to the fretboard, okay? And we're gonna start working more with sight reading as we get further into these videos. But string crossing exercises are certainly not new, but it gets you used to moving your fingers up and down the fretboard in different ways. So pick a measure and just do that one measure. Right now I'm doing measure 1 on exercise 1, the top line, da 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 da. Right? And these string crossing exercises just get you working, used to moving and navigating and maneuvering over the fretboard in a lot of different ways, because muscle memory is one thing. And we want to work on breaking that pattern dependency, okay? And we're going to work on that stuff later. Once we start developing and relying on patterns to get somewhere, we start working on exercises to break them. But for now, work on these particular exercises, and the string crossings are a lot of fun. Guys, I'm almost out of time on my camera here, so I need to wrap this one up. Make sure you stay tuned for the next lesson. The next lesson is a pre-conversation to blues, and this is such a fun and powerful conversation within music. So many people love blues, developed players and new players alike, and there's a big reason why, and we're going to talk about that. But blues is just much more than a blues shape and a sound. It's a music theory of idea and approach, and we're going to start making sense of that. And once you know what makes a blue note blue, then you'll have a better idea of how to play the blues. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, this is Ryan from BassMatter.com signing off. We'll see you guys at the next lesson. Make sure you find us online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to continue to crank out a whole bunch of high-end bass learning content for you right here. We'll see you guys at the next lesson. Keep playing, and good luck with these chops exercises. They're going to keep your fingers and your brain on your toes. Have a good day.